left and right, moves like crazy. Everybody's trying to stem my lady. Spiders in the mirror and things can't be right. Back to the scene of a Friday night. Two of Black collisions still frozen tight. Spill a drink and skip it in the sound of her first child. And why did you argue? Like dreaming of those eyes, the best part of my life. And when we feel a baby, wouldn't make a sound.
Spin, starboard. Nice. Good. Pull. Yes. Nice. Okay. Here. Chaos. Ready. Good boy. That's the man. Nice. Good.
Keep your belly high with your pace, slowing things down when I wanted to race. Catching up again when you try to chase. Feels like we're playing space. Always find a way to make up.
So 3 questions you should be asking yourself if you want to boondock with your dog. We all know why we boondock and hike with our dogs, right? We like to be out in nature. We want our dogs to be out in nature. We want them to move freely. I get that because I feel that way too. So when we boondock and hike with dogs, let's just be more responsible about our dogs. Let's keep our dogs' safety in mind. Okay, question number 1. This is kind of a long question. Bear with me. If your campsite is close to or in close eyesight of the fire road or the forest road, can you call your dog back to you if your dog sees somebody walking a dog on that road? Good question to ask. Likewise, if you're out hiking with your dog and your dog sees another dog on the trail, can you call your dog back to you? Good questions to think about. When it comes to boondocking and hiking, off-leash recall is important. You have to be able to get your dog back to you even when another dog is in eyesight. So in regards to hiking, I really like yo-yo walking. Basically, you're hiking the trail, your dog may go out ahead of you a little bit and then come back in and check in with you, and then go out a little bit again and then come back in and check in with you. How far out your dog goes when they're on the trail with you depends on a few factors. How good is your dog's recall when you are 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet away from each other? Also, what is the sight line like on the trail? If you can't see very far ahead, you don't really want your dog too far ahead of you either. When I come to a bend in the trail, a blind corner, or go over a ridge, a blind ridge, for example, I always call my dog back to me and sometimes even put her on leash. And then once we've gotten past that point, I might let her off leash again. Number 2, can you call your dog back if they're chasing wildlife? Rabbits, skunks, chipmunks, snakes, deer, bobcats, whatever the case may be. Can you get your dog back if they start to chase the wildlife? I mean, when we're out boondocking and hiking, we're in wildlife territory. I think we should respect that, right? Not let our dogs chase the wildlife. Also, pay attention to your dog. If you can call your dog off of that wildlife before they chase, you will succeed a lot better than you would when your dog is actually in the chase. When a dog is chasing wildlife, most likely your dog is in prey drive or they're in defense mode. And when your dog's in prey drive, they can't always hear you. It's not that your dog would ignore you, it's that they just can't hear you. They are focused on that wildlife and chasing it and catching it. So number 3 is not just a question you should be asking yourself, but number 3 is some really good information you should know anyway. Do you know what to do if your dog is bitten by a snake? There are approximately 21 species of venomous snakes in the United States. First, let's talk preventative measures. You can do yo-yo walking, which is basically the dog, if it's off leash, walks out of several feet and then comes back and checks in, walks out, checks in, and so forth as you're walking down the trail. That's a great thing to do where your dog can stay in eyesight of you, close eyesight, and you can monitor the trail where your dog is. Another preventative measure is keep your dog on the trail. Don't let your dog wander off the trail. That's usually where the snakes will be. And most importantly, in preventative, teach leave it. It's really important. Not for the moment when your dog comes across a snake, and yes, that would be important, but preventatively speaking, if my dog starts to sniff the sagebrush or rocks that are off to the side of the trail, immediately it's leave it. Because even though she's just sniffing, I don't even want her doing that off the side of the trail, because that's where the snakes are going to be, hiding underneath bushes and rocks. So to recap, preventative measures: keep the dog on the trail, teach solid leave it, and yo-yo walking. So what to do if your dog's bitten by a snake? Most importantly, don't panic and don't kill the snake. Just remove yourself and your dog from the snake as quickly as possible. Call the nearest emergency vet and get your dog there quickly. A couple of do's and don'ts. Don't use a tourniquet and don't try to suck the venom out. Do stay calm and keep your dog calm. Do try to keep the wound below the heart level if it's possible. We're talking about dogs here. I get it. Just do the best you can. So here are some symptoms that the layperson, you and I, would notice about our dog if they were bitten by a snake. A puncture wound that's bleeding, swelling around a puncture wound or bruising might be noticeable. Slow, ragged breathing, a sudden collapse followed by a sudden recovery. Whimpering in pain or fear. Sluggish, lethargic, trembling, and reduced eye blinking. Let's talk a little bit about Benadryl. When I was doing my research about this, I found a lot of conflicting information about Benadryl. Some people say use it, some people say don't use it. Here's what I found. I found that Benadryl really does not help at all in a snake bite. So here's what I found out. When your dog is bitten by a snake, the venom breaks down and kills the red blood cells, platelets, blood proteins, things like that. And all those cells, when they die, they sort of spew their cellular content into the surrounding tissue. That creates the swelling. Benadryl is designed to block the uptake of histamines, which reduces inflammation. So two very different mechanisms, and that's why Benadryl does not work on snake bites. Now, there's one caveat here, and I'll just tell you what I found out, and that is you could give Benadryl to keep your dog calm. But here's the other piece of that. If you've never given your dog Benadryl before, a snake bite is not the time to administer the first dose. You need to get the dosing correct. And you don't know for sure how your dog is going to respond on Benadryl, then I probably wouldn't be giving it to my dog at that time. Maybe only as a very last resort if my dog was completely upset and I could not calm my dog. But that's highly unlikely. So my 2 cents, I would not give Benadryl at all. I would just get to the vet quickly. Now, as far as keeping your dog calm, yes, it will calm your dog in most cases. However, if you crate your dog on transportation from your hike or your campsite to the vet, they're probably going to stay pretty calm inside their crate. Or if you somehow restrict them inside your car or the vehicle on the way to the vet, that will help. If you have someone to help you to calm the dog and stroke them, that would help as well. But you know, under preventative, I would say teach your dog to ride quietly in your vehicle. Just teach that in the beginning, and that will come in handy in a situation like this. So there's my 2 cents. Check it out for yourself. There's a lot of information about snake bites on the internet. And as always, talk to your veterinarian first. And if you think you want to use Benadryl in this sort of situation, talk to your veterinarian, get the dosage right for your dog, because certain medical conditions can alter the dosage of Benadryl. So pay attention to that stuff, you guys, and talk to your vet first, get that correct. And I would probably try it first on my dog at home just to know how my dog behaves on Benadryl, and then keep it with you in a first aid kit whenever you go out into the wilderness. So there you have it. 3 things you should be asking yourself before you take your dog boondocking. Happy camping, guys.